why actually do we use the binoculars to go artillery instead of the map?
You know, we're playing around with that, but one of the things that we always wanted for the squad leader in Red Orchestra and the commander in Ostfront was for them to have to risk themselves to potentially cause damage on the enemy. So at the very least, the commander would have to stick his hat out a window, look at where he's going to mark the artillery position, and then if there's a good sniper out there, potentially get shot. Otherwise, the commander can sort of sit somewhere and just point and click death all over the map. Although we're playing around with the idea of allowing that for the commander, but nothing is set for that yet.
Anyway, are there plans for console release for Heroes of Stalingrad?
I mean, as a company, Tripwire plans on doing some console stuff. You know, as a person that runs a business, you know, particularly using Unreal Engine 3, it's fairly compatible with consoles. So, so at some point we're going to do something on consoles. Certainly the initial release of Heroes of Stalingrad is a PC game. Through and through.
In some of the latest videos, we actually saw MG34 set up on the tripod buffet.
Yeah.
Will they be fireable, or are they just static meshes?
I'm trying to think if we talked about that yet. All right, I guess I could throw you a bone here. Yeah, they're usable. They actually, there's going to be the MG34 and the Maxim 1910, and they are going to be usable.
There are some really rare weapons that we could see in the videos, like for instance the MKB-42.
Yeah.
Or how often will we see it in multiplayer matches?
A lot.
What I mean is,
well, by a lot, as in, if there's an elite assault role in a multiplayer match, you'll see one guy running around with an MKB-42.
So that's what's the elite rifleman class actually then?
The elite rifleman?
Yeah, there was an elite.
Elite rifleman gets. I think the elite rifleman gets the SVT and the G41.
Since the sniper class is called marksman now, is that really the end for the discussion with snipers and marksmen?
It's just placeholder role selection text. There's nothing, don't read anything into it. It's just like, what is this? Oh, marksman. That's what an artist typed in while they were making the interface.
Since we're seeing Danzig come back in different form, are there other maps that are perhaps used even for the basic layout? And since Online is back, perhaps we see a return of Berlin?
Not a chance.
Dongen?
Not a chance. Two least favorite maps ever. Next, there are two maps from Ostfront that are making a return in Heroes. Danzig and another map that I'm not going to tell you. The other 8 are all new.
Well,
the Danzig, as you've probably seen in the videos, it shares the same layout, but it's not a port. It's not like we imported. You can't actually do a straight port of a level to Heroes anyway. I mean, there's some very technical stuff that you can do to probably get some of the assets into the new engine, but it's a complete recreation. It's not even exactly the same scale, but it shares the same objective layout, the same kind of general pathing. But pretty much any level in the game actually plays a lot different now, even if it's something like Danzig, because the cover system really changes the gameplay. And also things like the control breathing system with the zoom. All of those things actually make combat play differently at different ranges. You know, an engagement that in the original Red Orchestra was a type of engagement happened at 50 meters can now happen at 100 meters because you can see the enemy at that range a lot clearer.
If you don't mind, or if you want to tell us more, please do.
Probably tell you a few things. Is there anything you guys can bring to that one?
I'd like to know one thing. Me as a movie and track movie maker likes to know what about the demo rack. Will you touch it? Will like first person view will be available? Will the weapon will be visible?
My goal is to have the first-person weapon visible for spectating and demos. I have to weigh the potential network overhead of having it. I mean, we're going to try to do it. As long as it doesn't cause network overhead issues, we'll probably have it.
If we're talking about demos anyway, will there be a possibility to rewind demos if demos get included in the game?
I can't answer that because I'm not sure. I need to do a little more looking at the demo recording functionality of the engine, since we haven't had to do anything with that yet. Yeah, I can't believe it.
Okay, then this will be my final question. What is can you tell more about the difference in visual aspects and perhaps theme helpers between realistic realism and relaxed realism?
The big one's going to be like the compass mini-map thing. That definitely will be in the realistic mode. Beyond that, there are just a few things here and there that throughout the game that we're going to tweak. We're going to play around with different options. I can't really say. I mean, some of the stuff, I know there are a lot of varying opinions in the forums on what realism should be. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, take the peripheral action indicators out. You know, that's not realistic. Well, I don't know about you, but go like this, okay? This is not what I see. If Jesse's right next to me, you know, and I move this hand, I do see that he's right here. So, I mean, that's essentially what the peripheral action indicators do. They say, something is going on over here. You probably should take a look, because it might be a guy about to shoot you in the head.
Well, what about, for instance, the enemy presence indicator in the cap zones?
What about it?
Well, one of the issues is in clan gaming is that you see the enemy presence, and if it's over half, you start capping. But if you're all in the cap zone and an enemy enters somewhere in the cap zone, you immediately get an alarm ringing. There's one enemy somewhere in the battlefield, and everybody throws grenades at all the exits of the map, of all the entrances, and then immediately you know there's someone there, even if you haven't ever seen it.
Well, going back to the early days of mod, when we didn't have the enemy presence indicator, it was really boring, and you, as a player, you never knew if what was going on in the cap zone. You were just kind of standing there. You're like, okay, you could walk around the cap zone looking for people that might not even be there. You could leave your defensive position. It just wasn't fun.
But for clan play, it can be fun. Exactly, because you need to rely more on your team and you're relaying on the information among the team. So perhaps it could be something for clan play, I guess. Okay.
Well, I would like to ask one last question.
Ask away. It's not very often I get to meet actual Red Orchestra players. So.
It's about the beta. Are you actually having some sort of time frame already planned for the beta?
Yeah.
Are you willing to tell us?
Later this year.
Later this year?
That's cool.
A few months.
We heard people say that the game was going to be released in spring 2011. Has anything official, like
Nothing
a quarter?
official.
So only 2011 still?
Everyone I talked to, I said 2011. I mean, you know, if the, I think I said closer to January than December maybe, but I mean, if we're having a beta later this year, we're probably not going to have a 12-month beta, so you can do the math on that one. So just real quick too, one thing I like to point out about aerial recon, I don't think that anybody's explained yet.